This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Athletics.
Leaping at the wall, it's gone! A towering drive into center field by Rooker.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
A Judgian blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Swung on, hit high, hit deep to right, away back into the second deck.
Bobby Witt Jr. becomes the first shortstop in Major League history to have two 30-30 seasons.
Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to walk-off dingers to Hall of Fame talk. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
I can't tell you how excited I am about today's show and the next 36 games. This is the best part of the year as baseball is winding down, fight for the playoffs, NFL is starting, college football is starting. This is, to me, the best time of the year of the sports calendar. And what I love the most about what we got going in baseball, you look right now, after everybody losing yesterday, you go to the American League wildcard standings, we are in a virtual tie for all three spots. Yankees, Red Sox, Mariners, all playing at a 540 clip. We have a full-on race to the finish line. How does that affect the A's? Well, the A's, this is going to be good because the A's are going to be a part of this, because the A's still have 6 games left against the Boston Red Sox. They got a series this weekend against the Seattle Mariners, and a team that's won 4 in a row and is still in it, the Kansas City Royals. The last series of the year at home against at the ballpark at West Sacramento is the Kansas City Royals. So the A's are going to play a factor on who is in and who may be out. And that's what you want for these young kids who are now starting to blossom in front of our eyes and starting to put up offensive numbers, and we're starting to enjoy it. But now you're going to be playing against teams who have to win. And that's why I love this time of the year in baseball. Because the days of, it's early, oh, he's going to get hot, oh, look at the back of the baseball card, all that cliche BS is out the window. You need to show up every day and perform. It's win, or if you don't, someone's going to step up and actually criticize somebody around here. And in our case, I can't tell you how many people have said to me recently, if the A's didn't have a bad May, well, guess what? They did. Every month, every game matters because they all add up in the end. We start thinking like, well, the games in September. No, the games in April and May count just as much as September. So if you stink then, it kills you. And right now, like over the weekend when the Dodgers swept the Padres, slam Diego, now finally it's going, hey, you know what? Padres never win any big series.
Well, I thought they slayed the Dragons.
So finally some criticism. Right? Finally, there's some legit like, hey, man, where's the urgency? You better have it. You better have it. This is the time of the year. You better have it because you can go to the wild card. Milwaukee's leading it. And then you've got, not Milwaukee. You got the Cubs are leading it, but they're trying to chase down Milwaukee right now. Ain't going to happen, and they're struggling. They have a doubleheader today. Did they end up winning game 1?
I know they're playing. I didn't see the score.
So we can scoreboard watch. Padres, then Mets, but look out, Cincinnati's still in this thing. You go on a bad stretch, the A's, we've played the most games in baseball, so we have 36 left. There's some teams 37, 38, 39. You go on a bad stretch, you can find yourself out of the wild card.
Looks like the Cubbies won game 1.
That's why I love this time of year, because now there's urgency. There's no, hey, we'll go get him tomorrow. Oh, you want to go get him tomorrow? And then the next day, next thing you know, you find yourself out of the race. So, and I like the fact that the A's are going to play a part in this. Can you imagine that last weekend in Sacramento if Kansas City actually has a playoff spot? Kansas City right now is only 3.5 games back. They've won 4 in a row. They're starting to get hot. What if Kansas City's right there on the doorstep and the A's have a chance to knock them out? games. You've got 6 games against the Boston Red Sox.
And they're all coming up shortly. Like I think beginning of September, they come to the ballpark in West Sac. Then we go to Baltimore like the following, or Boston the following week or so.
And how about this? When everybody was freaking out about the Yankees all of a sudden have now won 3 in a row. So this is it, right? This is the prime time. This is when you have to deliver. What kind of team are you? What kind of player are you? This is where you want to play your best baseball heading into the postseason, into the tournament, and have a chance. But no more are we giving people a pass. Our sport gives more passes on guys' performances than anywhere else, right? But when you get this time of the year, there's no passes. And this is fun. Like this is like a full-on race to the finish line. Like yesterday, just watching these outcomes, watching team loses, you're like, ooh, that's a bad loss. Ooh. I mean, the Dodgers had a chance to even gain more ground on the Padres, but they lost. They got walked off by Colorado at Coors Field.
Now Mookie went in the office and talked to Friedman and Dave Roberts after about potentially I think it's about playing right field again because Teoscar Hernandez had the gaff out there.
How about this? Mookie Betts has publicly said, now remember, he had some weird illness when they were over in Tokyo, lost a ton of weight, got off to a bad start. Just one of those years, right? Now, traditionally, we'd hear people say, look at the back of the baseball card. Well, people kept saying that about Mookie, and the numbers just haven't. Mookie finally has said, and I found this so interesting, as a guy that to me will be a future Hall of Famer, publicly said, it's not about my numbers anymore. It's just about winning. Now, some people may applaud that. But I also think, wait a minute, shouldn't it just always be about winning? It just shows you where baseball players are. Everything is about money. Everything's about numbers. But Mookie Betts has said, I'm not going to worry about my numbers anymore. It's just about winning the World Series. But that's where he's at. I like it because that's where playoff baseball is. Playoff baseball is now people aren't worrying about their numbers. They're just worrying about winning. So all of a sudden, now guys can play small ball. Now guys got to do certain things in the postseason to win games that they struggle with during the regular season, because now it's not about your numbers. Now it's just about winning games. But then I love it. It's fascinating this time of the year to see how managers make their moves. How do they use their players and their lineups? And every single game matters. And you start watching the scoreboard, and if you see someone's winning and you're losing, or vice versa, you're winning, they're losing, great time of the year. Baseball changes when it's do or die time. The word urgency finally comes into play, and it makes our sport that much better. It makes our sport more like other sports. And I don't think there's a whole lot of urgency in the NBA. Hockey, but I think we think about football, which obviously is king. There's urgency every single week. We start to get that, right? These become like, okay, I've got to win. We never want to talk about we have to win games in baseball. We always act like tomorrow's going to be okay. Cody, tomorrow will be okay. You went 2 2/3 and you gave up 8 runs and you stunk. But you know what? You'll go get them next time out. Well, that's great in May. That's great in June.
Is it great? I mean, you give up 8 runs in 2 2/3.
I don't think so, but we like it. But now, Cody, your ass better go out there and throw up some zeros. I expect we're a game and a half back. You better go perform. And people in our business finally grow a pair and start criticizing people when they don't play well. Yeah, the Padres are a joke. You've talked this big game, slam Diego, and you can't beat the Dodgers. They play again this weekend, right? I mean, look at the Yankees were in the World Series last year. Fact?
That's correct, yes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. First time since 2009.
Aaron Boone gets his team to the playoffs every year. You've had everybody barking at Aaron Boone, fire him. I made the hot take he's going to get fired. Right now, Aaron Boone could have his team in the playoffs again. Who knows? They can go on a run. The Yankees now have some urgency. And that's why it's fun. Baseball's fun when we're looking at the scoreboard every day and we're saying teams got to win. And if your team's bad like the A's are, the record is what it is, but can you learn now? You're going to be playing a Boston Red Sox team 6 times, and the Red Sox right now, they have the second wild card. They want to still believe, like, where are they in the division? Red Sox are 5 games back, still doable. You don't think the Red Sox in those games are going to have a ton of urgency? You're going to be playing a team that it's like playoff baseball. That's what's cool now. With the wild cards, you got people, even if you're not going to be in the playoffs, you're going to have that when the A's go to Fenway Park, that's going to be almost like a playoff atmosphere because they have to win those games. And they're going to look at the A's and they're going to say to the A's, we should beat these guys. And the A's roll in there and go, not so fast, my friend. They're going to go old number 2 pencil Lee Corso on you and say, we're going to bang them off the monster because we're bringing one of the best offenses in baseball. A's have one of the best offenses in baseball.
You can't debate it. They want a top 10 offense in literally every slug, average, home runs, everything. I mean, the team is killing it offensively.
No, you want to go weighted runs created plus. There's a lot of different metrics you could look at. The A's are a top offensive team in the American League and in baseball. What are you going to do about it, Boston? That's what's fun, right? Like, I want our players to experience that. I want Nick Kurtz to experience that. Hopefully Jacob Wilson's going to be back. Got to figure out, man, what's up with Lawrence Butler? You got to start hitting, man. Right? Tyler Soderstrom is having one of the better years for an American League player. He's just 23 years old.
16-game hitting streak.
Let these guys experience this stuff. Right? I want Jacob Lopez on the mound at Fenway Park. I want him to experience it. I want Perkins to get a start at Fenway Park. JT Ginn. I want the guys who are part of our future to understand what it's like to play meaningful games. And you're in it because Boston's in it. I love how they're going to be playing 6. I wish we were playing the Yankees one more time. I wish we were playing. Now, Seattle, you're going to get one more time. But that Kansas City, that last weekend, well, if Kansas City's right there and Kansas City needs to win 2 out of 3, you got to be licking your chops going, we're going to knock these guys out. We're ending your season this weekend. How great would that be?
That's what we're watching the team play for now, right? To play spoiler, because that's kind of what the situation they're in. And
yeah,
who I'm trying to think they play Detroit. I mean, Detroit has kind of a stranglehold on the AL Central, but Detroit comes at West Sacramento next week.
Oh, that's right, Detroit. But Detroit's.
Yeah, I mean, they're up by a handful of games.
Detroit is up by 8.5 games. I doubt they're going to fall back. But once again, you're playing a playoff team. You're playing a team. I wish we'd play the Brewers. So you knew what it was like to play a team that all around. By the way, the conversation of the smaller baseball player is phenomenal right now. Yes. We sit here, we want everybody to be 6'3", 6'4", da-da-da. But
Aaron Judge.
But you know what happens when you got bigger players?
They get hurt.
They got longer swings. But look at his bat speed. I go to Baseball Savant, look at the bat. Well, you know what happens when you're a bigger player and you got great bat speed? It means you make less contact. You know who makes better contact? Guys, smaller, shorter arms, smaller guys make more contact. Go look at the Milwaukee Brewers. Go look at the Cleveland Guardians.
Kwani.
The short ball player. I mean, the majority of the great players in the history of the game are not big players. Willie Mays was not big. Mickey Mantle was not tall. You can go through, for every Ted Williams, you got more Mazes and Mantles.
Hank Aaron wasn't that big either, right?
He wasn't. Hank Aaron wasn't. I think I want to say Hank Aaron was like 6'1". But we're talking like we're so used to a sport where everybody wants to be 6'4", 6'5". Most guys aren't big.
6 foot for Hank Aaron.
Yeah, he was 6 foot. Willie Mays, I was eye to eye with Willie Mays when I did the interview with him. Now he was a lot older, but Willie Mays wasn't a big guy. You look like how many of the great hitters you go Tony Gwynn, George Brett, most of these guys, they're not tall. The bigger the player, the longer the limbs. And we've talked about that with Denzel Clark. We talk about it with a lot of people. The longer your arms, Yelich is starting to figure it out, by the way. We're going to have to get into a conversation of what a superstar is.
When you texted me yesterday, I went through and I typed up 10 names, and I felt questionable getting towards the end.
DeRosa, love D-Row, but he's a superstar A superstar is somebody who translates beyond their own sport, that people outside your own sport know who you are. When you're Muhammad Ali, when you're Michael Jordan, you're Tiger Woods, you're Tom Brady, you're Peyton Manning, People who don't watch your sport know who you are.
LeBron James.
That's Arnold Palmer. Arnold Palmer was the highest endorsing, hadn't won a golf tournament and played in years. He was the highest endorsing athlete until Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan finally took over old man Arnold Palmer. Joe DiMaggio. Those are what superstars, everybody knows who you are. We're throwing around superstar in baseball like it's crazy. Christian Yelich?
This isn't 2018 anymore. That was 7 years ago when he was the MVP.
Even when he won the MVP, are you saying he was a household name in American sports?
No. Even the guy that won it the year after wasn't. Bellinger.
I can tell you right now, Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football is almost bigger than anybody we've had in baseball.
Correct.
Johnny Football was a superstar. Everybody knew who Johnny Football was. Vida Blue back in the day was a superstar because Vida Blue was on Time Magazine, Sports Illustrated. He was on all the talk shows. Vida Blue was a superstar is someone who transcends their own sport. We now think everybody, like he was in the All-Star game. What?
That's how we qualify.
What?
That's how we quantify All-Star.
What?
Superstars.
You know what? We have two superstars in baseball.
Ohtani and Judge?
Ohtani's a global star, and Aaron Judge. Is there really anybody else who is a real superstar?
I say Skeens is getting there. Just because of how much he's mentioned.
People outside of baseball don't know who Skeens is.
They know who his girlfriend is, though, so that helps.
Livy Dunn. When your girlfriend is a bigger superstar than you, more people know who Livy Dunn is than Paul Skeens.
That's probably correct.
Correct?
Yeah.
Right? Like, Taylor Swift is bigger than Travis Kelce.
I don't disagree with that one bit.
Taylor Swift has brought Travis Kelce up. She's a superstar.
Or you can say she brought him down. His play's kind of declined, but that's okay.
He's old, man. He's a Hall of Famer. He's had a great career. How old is he? He's like 35, 36?
He's like around almost close to my age.
Have some respect. Yeah. Do we have Jesse?
We do, yes.
Jesse, what is happening?
Towny, what's up?
Oh, it has been a while. How are things in Lansing? Jesse Goldberg-Strassler with us here on A's Cast Live. How's everything in Lansing?
Things are exciting. Throughout the course of this year, you'll win some, you'll lose some, you'll get hot, you'll see guys develop. And then the exciting thing is to see guys, either our guys from last year reach the big club or our guys who we just had this weekend get promoted.
So if people don't know, and, obviously you can see Jesse right now, but if you don't know and you're listening on A's Cast or the A's Radio Network, Jesse is the play-by-play voice of the Lansing Lugnuts, has done a great job for many, many years. That is always cool that you develop these relationships with these young men when they're first really starting their careers. And then you watch them go to AA, you watch them go to AAA, then you watch them go to the big leagues. Sometimes they don't stay in our organization. That just happens in our business. But you develop a relationship and a bond with these guys very early. Talk about how special that is.
Well, the fun thing is when the guys don't realize that they all know me. So I'll be crossing in, I'll drop by the clubhouse or I'll drop by spring training. And there might be a Tyler Soderstrom or a Lawrence Butler who I met in 2021 or 2022. And now suddenly you've got a Luis Morales or a Colby Thomas or a Jacob Wilson, whom I met the ensuing year or the year after that. And I get to work with all these guys the same way. And now they're all arriving to the same destination. So that's the fascinating thing is I get to see them when they're younger, on their way up, and they've got these hopes. And then when they start to arrive and make it and start to really figure themselves out, these are also the points in times where big things are happening off the field. They're getting engaged, they're moving, they're getting a nice house, whatever is happening elsewhere in their life. And it's fun to check in and see how things are going with them. All the while I'm watching them achieve their dreams.
Yeah, the last 2 years around the A's clubhouse, the amount of children that are being born, the amount of guys that are getting married, Melissa Guzman, Deetra Page are throwing all these different parties for the wives and the fiancés. It's been really cool. But it's when you have a young ball club. And yes, these kids, their lives are growing. And the fact that you see them at an early age is just great. And give credit to you, too. You've been telling us, hey, listen, there's a crop coming. These guys are legit. And we're now seeing it on the field.
Well, the fun thing is you first got to see the hitting wave, and the hitting wave is really it's hit, and we'll see what's going to come next because there are some reinforcements coming very soon. But the next wave that you are starting to see is the pitchers. So first Gunnar Hoagland, then Jack Perkins, then Luis Morales, and there's a ton of guys nipping at their heels.
No, that is great to hear. All right. We are all excited about Leo DeVries. You guys have Leo loves Lansing. We've added to it. Leo loves Lansing, and Lansing loves Leo. He's now gone. He's gone to AAA. He's gone to AA. He's starting tonight for Midland. David Force has always said it on this show. Once you hit AA, the big leagues is not far away. Tell us, you didn't have him for a long time. Tell us what you saw with Leo.
Well, first, let me run his height weight past you. 6'1", 180 pounds. As you were talking about, you don't want to be too big. Is that right for you?
6'1", 185 at 18 years old. That means he'll probably get up to probably around 200, which is going to add a lot of weight. It's going to add power. I don't think it'll affect his speed. But in our game with like Jacob Wilson, kind of the same way, we're seeing some bigger players in the middle infield. Geloff is that guy. He just had a walk-off. Hopefully we get Geloff back and he can get back on track. But having a little size and versatility means you can move from short to third. There's a lot of different things you can do. But, yeah, his size, I love his size.
Yes, sir. Well, so here's what he's like as a guy to watch in person. Because we got to see him from the other side as the opponent. The Padres organization,
right.
We're playing them a lot with Fort Wayne. So we get to see what he's capable of. He hit for the cycle against us. Hit for the cycle with a go-ahead, tie-breaking, 2-out, 2-run triple in the 9th inning. So we understand what he's done at his very best. He joins us. You can tell he's putting a little bit of pressure on himself. First 7 games, strikes out 14 times, only walks once. Then he relaxes. And the next 7 games, he only strikes out 1 time. He walks 3 times. He's fouling tough pitches away. He catches fire this past weekend. And those final 3 games before he goes up to AA, there's 2 homers, there's 2 triples, there's a double. He's rifling the ball all over the place. He's spitting on splitters on 3-2 that are just below the zone. And this entire time, to play this entire high A season at 18, where he's got that power already and it's showing off, and his defense improved the way that it did over the course of the year, you can understand why this is a great talent to dream about.
When you watch him, does it look like he's 18?
It's a good question because I got to see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at 18. I got to see Fernando Tatis at 18. But the difference was back then the Midwest League was low A. This was pre-2020. So, yes, when you look at his face, when you see him off the field, you go, oh, this is an 18-year-old. And it's the 21-year-old who's taking care of him and the 22-year-old who's being his big brother. But when you actually watch him play the game, the impressive thing to me is just how calm he is. He's tranquilo. In the batter's box, everything is unhurried. In the field, Sizzler hit to him. He's got that internal clock working. So I would say, no, on the field, he does not play the game like an 18-year-old.
It's impressive. I mean, you try and tell people, you try to explain it. It's hard to, but it's like he just would have graduated high school. He would have gone to prom. Just think how we grew up. He would have gone to prom. He would have graduated. He would have been drafted back in the day. Would have been the June draft. He'd go through. He probably would have been the number 1 overall pick. Well, if not number 2 or number 3, but I think a lot of people think he would have been number 1.
On that note, so I love asking all the scouts who come in, give me your opinions of all the players. And so Fort Wayne comes in with Leo, and I'm picking all the scouts' brains. Is he as good as we think he is? Is he as good as Pipeline or Baseball America thinks he is? And every single scout told me, you know how there's a debate right now as to who should be the number 1 pick, and we're not sure who's going to go number 1, who's going to go number 2. If this guy was eligible, there would be no debate.
No debate. He's number 1.
Yes.
Okay, so that means it's going to take a while for him to sign, right? So now the draft is in July during the All-Star break. So he would have been drafted in July. Old days, he would have been drafted in June, so he would have got some playing time. There is a chance he really wouldn't have played after this draft. He would have maybe got a little time, and now all of a sudden he's an A ball, high A in Lansing, playing with kids who are still kids, but they're much older than him.
Yeah, you probably give him instructs. You see if he's ready. Next year, you send him to Stockton to get his feet wet. He earns his way up. The fact that he is getting AA experience before he turns 19 is wild.
You're right. He would have gone to Mesa. He would have been with Jamie Arnold and these guys. Just, hey, take some BP. How's it feel? It's great, right? Because what happens now with the July draft is that these kids haven't played in a while, right? Whether it's college or high school, they haven't played in a couple months, so they don't want to rush them back and get them hurt. So he bypasses all that, being an international kid, and he's a AA at 18. That's just crazy.
Towny, think about, too, the stamina. For all of these guys, they're challenged putting their body through the ringer over the course of their first full season. They went through the full season last year down in Lake Elsinore. And now he's through this full season. His body is ready for this. And so as he winds things down to an end and tries to help Midland win the Texas League Championship, you've got a guy who's ready to begin next year in AA. And that's why we're going, hey, he's 2 years away from the major leagues if things continue to develop on track.
All right, before we let you go, in your neck of the woods right now, obviously there's high expectations for the Detroit Lions. I got a buddy who lives in Detroit. Everybody's fired up there. You got Michigan State. Speaking of East Lansing, Michigan State about to get going. How about Michigan and what they're going through right now? How much is Michigan State fan enjoying the agony with sanctions and things that are going on at Michigan from the Jim Harbaugh era?
Not a bit. Not a bit. In fact, everyone who's a Michigan State fan is going, they got lit off so easy. And everyone who's a Michigan Wolverines fan is saying, is that it? Is that all that we're going to get hit? No, Michigan fans are thrilled. And Michigan State fans, like the rest of the Big Ten, are beside themselves.
Do you ever go to games?
Yeah. I went to a game that they played against, Russell Wilson and Wisconsin, that Michigan State won on a Hail Mary. So every now and then they'll say, hey, come on out. A friend will bring me over to take in a Spartans game. It's a great atmosphere. But unfortunately for them, before getting this job, I worked 2 years down in the Southern League. So I got to see SEC football. And I lost my voice screaming in the first 5 minutes at my first SEC game. The Big Ten atmosphere is good. SEC was wild.
Well, Lansing loves Jesse. There's no question about that. Hey, keep doing what you're doing. You're fabulous. And we truly appreciate when you help us with the knowledge of what's going on down there, when you help us with the highlights and everything. You're a great partner in this thing. And what you do here for A's Cast, we can't thank you enough. You be well, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your season.
Towny, 3 names to put in your back pocket. Kenya Huggins, Wayon Lean, Steven Echeverria. Looking good. Thanks for having me.
I love it. Take care. Good stuff. What do we got next?
We're going to head to the Twin Cities. Johnny D.
Oh, we doing hot takes?
Yeah. Hope you have one.
Hot Take Tuesday next, right here on A's Cast Live.
ESPN's Paul Hembekides praised the A's young lineup, calling it one to watch while on A's Cast Live with Towny.
I have sure been noticing, and as I go to my Twitter timeline, and I look at a tweet that I sent out at 11:37 a.m. Eastern on July 31st, the day of the Major League Baseball trade deadline, a tweet that has seen nearly 1 million views. As you may have seen, all I did was list any number of promising young players in the A's either lineup or system with their attached age. And this is something that people very clearly resonated with, because I list here Leo DeVries, Nick Kurtz, Max Muncy, Jacob Wilson, Tyler Soderstrom, Lawrence Butler, Denzel Clark, Shea Langoliers, and Brent Rooker, all of whom are 30 years of age or considerably younger. And so what I am telling you, my friend, is that the A's are building a freaking Leviathan. The A's lineup within the course of the next 3 years is going to be considered one of the 5 best in baseball. And right now you might say that their numbers are being inflated slightly or considerably by the fact that they play in a hitter-friendly ballpark. Last time you and I spoke, I believe I told you I expect it to play small, and it most certainly has. However, you can even adjust what the A's are doing by ballpark, and you still clearly see Nick Kurtz hitting out of his ever-loving mind, and Jacob Wilson before the injury doing the exact same thing. So by no means am I willing to sit here and say that these guys are merely a product of their environment. No. This A's lineup is for real. It is ascending, and by the time you guys wind up where you ultimately wind up, I think we're talking about one of the very best lineups in all of baseball once these guys reach their prime collectively.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast. Jesus Cano from Baseball America broke down the buzz around new top prospect Leo DeVries on A's Cast Live with Towny.
One of one, no question. I mean, there's a reason that why he was such a coveted player from when he was 12, 13 years old in the Dominican Republic. I mean, this guy, if you take a look at him, he is a ball player. You know, I've got to interview him at the prospect pad for Baseball America. I've spoken to him in the past. Carries himself like a big leaguer at just 18 years old. I mean, this guy is somebody that's going to be a perennial all-star. Scouts love this guy. They love watching him play. He has a lot of comps to Francisco Lindor. So I think that tells you all you need to know about Leo DeVries. A's fans should be excited that they were able to get him here.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Streaming from NBC Sports, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Go ahead.
Well, this is for Nate. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification right here on A's Cast. All right, well, let's head to the Twin Cities. Bring on Johnny D before we get to Martín Gallegos of MLB.com at 3:10. Hello, Johnny.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Johnny.
Hi. Hey, Towny, Kurt Russell. What's going on? What's up, Commander?
I got to tell you, I love that ballpark. I
love this ballpark, Towny. I've been watching Rooker and Langoliers and Kurtz hit absolute bombs in BP. Rooker's up right now, and he's hitting them in the upper deck, the third deck, and it's just remarkable. It's fun.
It will rival, hot take, any ballpark in baseball.
It's a great take. I agree. I love this place. Love it.
Great story. I took Brent Musburger there. We walked over, because it was Vikings Raiders. I said, Brent, hey, you want to go over to the game? So we went in. We walked. As soon as we're walking up to the ballpark, the door flies open where you're walking in to get your passes. They were all waiting for him because I emailed to get his press passes, and so you had all these men saying, "Oh my God, Mr. Musburger." We then walk out and we walk to the right field foul pole just to look at the ballpark. And within like 20 seconds, we are mobbed. And I had to keep moving Brent Musburger around target field. I'm like, this is what it was like to be with Elvis. Like I had to like move him. Right. It was like I was his security because we were being mobbed by everybody. I finally stashed him. We went around home plate. I got his beers, walked all the way down the left field line. And if you look out left field, Johnny, where they have all those TVs, it's like a sports bar.
Yeah.
I stashed Musburger there in the back corner where no one could see him because we were being mobbed. I was this is what real Johnny's out in Sacramento. It's celebrity, but this is what it really is like to be.
He's working with the real celebrity.
That's a celebrity right there.
Well, that's two-time World Series champion.
Yeah, because he's got the look too. He's got the look. That's Stephen Lewis Sachs. Yeah,
he's locked in. He couldn't even say hi to us. He's so locked in.
Well,
yeah, he's busy. Yeah,
he's too big league. Hey, big league.
Hey, radio guy.
What?
What's up, Sax?
What's up, guys? And you got the
you?
Commander. You got a total full boat today. Towny and Commander.
Yeah, this is what it's all about.
I know it. I mean, that's amazing. Hey, I'm here with Johnny Doskow. I mean, I heard you guys talking about getting mobbed. Talk about getting mobbed.
Yeah. It happens a lot.
The Prince of West Sac. All right, we got to do this before we get to Martín Gallegos. It is time for Hot Take Tuesday, Flaming Hot Takes.
Every once in a while, you hear a really good sports hot take.
I believe the A's will have a 15-run game. They need a laugher.
Not only will Brent Rooker be an all-star, Brent Rooker will be in the home run derby this year.
I don't think we're seeing Juan Soto for 5-6 guys. I'm predicting we will not see one blazing hot last year big trade.
Then you hear some really bad hot takes.
Gio Urshela is going to hit his first home run of the year tonight.
Aaron Judge will not record a hit this weekend against the A's.
I'm calling it now. There will be a collapse in Milwaukee, and the Chicago Cubs will catch them.
Well, on A's Cast,
I'm going to get them in 1 year. I don't know what year it is. I'm going to get these sons of
Takes Tuesday. Chris Townsend only on A's Cast Live.
Sorry, Johnny. I had it with the Urshela take in there. It was so good.
That's the greatest, bro. Those are the greatest.
You think Urshela's going to hit a home run?
What's that?
You think Urshela's going to hit a home run still?
I'm still every day. I'm going to do that hot take every day.
All right, every day. Johnny, lead us off today. What is your hot take?
Well, I know that sometimes you get on me for doing it because I went a long time. I think I went 3 months without doing an A's hot take, and now I've done a couple of them in a row. But this hot take is precise. It's like my Astro hot take with 17 wins in a month. The A's in the last 36 games are going to go exactly 22-14 and finish the year with exactly 78 wins. So they're going to go 78 in 84. And you may say, "Oh, why is that a hot take?" Well, it's a hot take because you got to win almost 2 of every 3, and you got some tough games coming up. The A's aren't going to win 79 games. The A's aren't going to win 77 games. The A's are going to win exactly 78 games. And I can't wait till early next year when we play Hot Take Tuesday, and you're saying, "Wow, Doskow, you nailed it." I'm excited for that.
I almost feel like Jim Moore right now. Playoffs, 78 wins. I hope we just win a game. 78. Wow. What did you say? 22
and 14 for the last 36.
Now, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Why is this such a hot take? Well, we can say the A's are playing better, but they're just 8-7 in August, and they're just 15-13 during from the All-Star break. They basically been 500. You're saying all of a sudden this last 36, they're flipping the switch and are going to be playing at a rate as one of the best teams in baseball.
Well, the reason I say that, Towny, is because we really haven't seen everybody click offensively at the same time, and I think it's starting to happen. You see it starts, and Butler gets hot. This team offensively, we're going to have many more 10-run games, 10 runs or more. I mean, this offense is going to get going, and they're going to have some routes here. They have some routes coming up, and with Jacob Lopez tonight, you got Lopez every 5th day, right? Believe me, the bullpen's coming around. This team is going to win 22 games exactly. It's going to happen.
Wow, that's a hot take.
It's pretty good. I mean, he usually nails these too. The 15 runs, the Astros he called.
A hotter take would be like if he said they were going to go 14-22, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
No, I could do it. I went seriously. Reverse jinx that. I could, but I just don't.
I like it. 22-14. Yeah, because you need to get to 75 wins. There's no question about it.
Yep.
All right. So I was diving in and looking at the National League, and who's leading in batting average, and it's not great. Xavier Edwards is hitting 302, and Will Smith, I believe, if he's qualified, is hitting 302, and Freddie Freeman hitting 301.
Will Smith's having a great year, by the way.
And I did some research, and I believe the lowest batting average ever to win the batting title was Yaz, hit 301 in 1968. So I'm saying right now, the National League batting champion will be the first time in baseball history not hit 300 on the season.
It's a great hot take. That's actually a great hot take.
And it's sad. It's like sad.
I know.
It's sad.
You inspired me, Johnny, because I went back and looked at your hot take about Luis Arraez winning his 4th batting title, not striking out 20 times, and he's hitting 291, but he's only struck out 15 times, so you're half right so far.
Got a shot here.
All right, so you're saying the NL
batting champion
will be like 297.
Yeah, somewhere in there, yeah.
That's a fantastic hot take, Commander. Great. I love it.
All right. For my hot take, I've been studying the AL playoff situation. And you guys both know my love for barbecue. You both
You're from the South. You're from the South, of course. Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Kansas City. I love Kansas. Kansas City is a sneaky good time. I go there every year with the Raiders. It's just not the barbecue. It's an unbelievable museum town. People are great, super nice. A lot of fun. They love to have fun. I love me some Kansas City. Kansas City's on a little bit of a heater. They've won 4 in a row. They've won 6 of 7 on their 10-game homestand. They've outscored their opponents 41-25. So their offense is starting to heat up at the right time. Their bullpen has been really good. They're playing really well. I love me some Lucas Ursig. My hot take is you got the Yankees, the Red Sox, and Seattle all playing at a 540 clip right now. We have a virtual tie, virtual tie for all three. My hot take, Kansas City remains hot and bumps one of them out, and the Royals will be in the postseason.
Wow, that's a great hot take.
And we're going to live this to the very end because the A's play the Royals very last series of the year.
Man,
the A's may play a role in this hot take. So I'm bringing our boys into this. Royals may need to take 2 out of 3. They may need to sweep to get into the postseason.
Commander, how fun will it be if it comes down to the last game and the A's beat the Royals and Towny's all torn inside, doesn't know what to do. Of course, he bleeds green and gold, but it'll be so great if we knock him out the last game of the year. How great would that be?
Or vice versa. He rips out his George Brett jersey when they clinch a playoff spot in West Sacramento. He's like, I told you guys all along. I knew this team was going to win.
Number 5. There you go.
The great George Brett, my favorite player of all time. This has nothing to do with George, though. This is just looking at this. I hate all 3 of these teams.
Yeah.
I can't stand the Yankees. I can't stand the Red Sox, and I can't stand the Mariners.
Right.
I'm rooting for carnage in all 3.
Right.
I one of them, if I can knock, I would love it if Stephen Vogt and the Royals could knock 2 of these guys out. Would be great.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Yep.
Wouldn't that how awesome would that be for us going into the offseason if both the Yankees and the Red Sox got bumped?
So good.
You'd have the national media. Oh, I can't believe this. This is going to be horrible. No. It'd be great. Great.
Yeah.
I want carnage in the American League wild card. What a story that would be if Kansas City, Cleveland track somebody down, knock one of these guys out. That's what I love about baseball, Johnny. The excuses are over. Nobody wants to hear the excuses. The word urgency is real now. You got to win. And if you don't, fine. Because I said it earlier today, baseball people don't like to criticize. We like to, it's early. Look at the back of a guy's baseball card, blah, blah, blah. Not this time of the year. You need to perform every day, because if you don't, then people go, hey, what's the deal? This is what you get paid to do. You want to make all that money? You want that 10-year contract? You better show up at this time of the year.
I like your attitude. You want carnage, you may get carnage. You may get it. You may get it. I tell you what, that's not the worst hot take in the world. Kansas City get hot. Speaking of Yastrzemski, Kansas City gets hot, right? How about Yastrzemski? Mike Yastrzemski, Yaz out there in right field. Never know.
Great fish in Minnesota too, by the way. Great fish.
I love this place, man. I love this state.
I do too. Other than like it's 10,000 lakes means there's 8 million mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's not a hot take. A lot of mosquitoes. Yeah,
a lot of mosquitoes. Like my cousin lives in Minnesota. I went to his boathouse, and it's like, hey, this is great. Until it's like the whole time you're like, oh my god, there's mosquitoes.
Yeah.
They have more. Like they have. There's a reason why there's disease centers there, because there's a lot of issues, bugs and mosquitoes. But I love Minnesota.
You too, man.
Go take a picture with the Kirby Puckett statue. I did that.
Oh yeah, we got to. Saxy and I'll do that.
Hey, short, fat guys. He's one. If we say short, fat, as everybody wants to like praise Alejandro Kirk right now, greatest short, fat guy of all time, Kirby Puckett.
We call them SFGs. Yeah. Yep. San Francisco Giants or short back. Yeah. SFGs. Yep.
You guys have a good call.
All right. Thanks. See you, bro.
All right. See you guys. All right. Let's bring Martin on. He's here.
All right. Now let's
get serious now.
Yeah, let's bring in the real deal. Enough with the hooligans and the shenanigans. Let's bring in the real journalist here. Martín Gallegos from MLB.com. How are you?
What's up, Towny? I'm good. How you doing?
I am doing good. We got a lot of ways to go here. Obviously, today for Midland, Leo DeVries at 18 years old is going to be playing in Double-A. You had a great story on MLB.com. Were you shocked to see this?
No, I was not. I mean, I think we've seen kind of here in recent history, the A's not afraid to move guys up once they feel like they're ready. And I mean, when you put together a weekend like he just did, I mean, 7 for 12, I believe, 2 homers, 2 triples, a double. I mean, the guy was just scorching hot. It wasn't too much of a surprise to me. I know he's only 18 years old. He'll turn 19 in October, but I mean, this guy's different. He's different from any other, teenage ball player that we've seen in quite some time. And obviously the A's feel that way as well. So it's exciting to see him move up so quickly. And I mean, this puts him on track to, I don't know, who knows? Maybe we'll see him next year. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility, which is crazy to consider. He's not even 19 yet, but once you're to Double-A, I mean, I've heard David Force say it on your show plenty of time. Once you get to Double-A, you're one call away. So, I mean, if he performs well, who knows when we'll see him? I think we're going to see him sooner than probably a lot of people think.
When we were researching after the trade with Mason Miller and JP Sears, and we're researching about this kid and all about this kid, there were all kind of Padres people who thought he would make the big leagues as a teenager, which means next year. So they thought next year he would be up in San Diego. So I guess for us, it's not that crazy to think.
No. Like you said, yeah, there was a lot of people. I mean, I still see it to this day. Whenever I tweet something or retweet something about Leo DeVries, you look at the comments and Padres fans are just like, completely just going crazy. Like, how could we let go of this guy? This was supposed to be our guy next year on an opening day roster. They felt like he was going to be here next year. So, I mean, the trajectory that he's been on, I mean, it's been I don't even know if you'd call it a fast track. It's beyond a fast track what he's been on. And, he's checking all the boxes, as far as what you want to see from a guy who you feel is going to be a star. So, I mean, this will be the next challenge for him at Double-A. That's obviously where all the top prospects are at. So he's probably going to meet some challenges there. But I mean, based on his skills, it probably won't take him too long to adjust to that level as well.
How important is it to get Jacob Wilson back, Max Muncy back, get them at bats, get them playing again? I would say that about Denzel Clark, but obviously there's the setback there.
Yeah, no, I think that's big, and I think that's kind of the focus for this final, whatever 6 weeks or whatever's left in the regular season, just getting all these guys development time. It's all important for all these guys. Even the guy like Lawrence Butler, I know he's have a little bit more experience over those guys, but it's still important for him. Nick Kurtz, I know we all see him as like a star now already, but he's still developing, so he still needs this time as well. It's going to be big for him for his future to kind of get those at bats and go through it. So a guy like Wilson, hopefully we see him back. I think maybe by the end of this week we could see him up maybe in Seattle. Max Muncy's still a little bit further away, but I think there's still hope that he gets at least a little bit of time before the end of the season. But yeah, I mean, all these guys who are part of that core, the young guys, it's important for them to get some playing time here and finish the season strong going into next year.
And it's also, to me, about who they're going to play, because there's still a lot to be said in the American League, as we have a 3-way virtual tie for the wild card right now. And the A's are going to play Seattle this weekend. They've got 6 big games coming up against the Boston Red Sox. They're going to be playing against the Tigers, who are leading their division. And then at the very end of the year, a team that's still in it and they're hot right now, who knows where they'll be, is the Kansas City Royals. Just tell us how big this is for these young players to play in games that matter, to go to Fenway Park and play in games that truly matter. And there's that sense of urgency with these teams.
Yeah, no question. It's big to get that experience. They don't necessarily like to use the word spoiler, but I mean, they have a chance to impact, like you said, some possible playoff chances for these teams that they have playing coming up. So I think that's big for them to face that kind of opposition, facing teams that are desperate to win and are going to do everything they can to win. They're going to bring their A game to you. So I think that's important. I'm looking forward to, especially for the starting rotation right now. I mean, there's 4 rookies in there. So all these guys are very inexperienced. They're going to kind of get a taste of that, playoff atmosphere here coming up soon. I mean, in Seattle, those are going to be some raucous crowds. I can expect that. I think Luis Morales is lined up to pitch there, maybe a couple other rookies as well. So that'll be big for all of them to kind of get a taste of that atmosphere and kind of just for the team, see how they respond to that. Some guys, it's a struggle for them. Some guys kind of embrace it and even pitch better. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that. But yeah, it's big to face all these teams that are in contention and try to, do your best, to win those games, but more importantly, just perform well and show that you can hang with these teams.
Yeah, I don't know how the pitching matchup will work in all these games, but Yeah, I would love to have Jacob Lopez or Morales or Ginn or Perkins to line up and pitch at Fenway Park when the Red Sox are in this dogfight and they need to win, to get that experience, to get the experience in Seattle, to understand what it's like to play against teams that are desperate and need to win, to have that playoff atmosphere. It will be fantastic. Not enough is said about Tyler Soderstrom. We're talking about a lot of young players around baseball. I think now people are seeing it with the hitting streak that leads Major League Baseball. He's just 23 years old. Just talk about watching him mature in front of our eyes and also doing a pretty good job out in left field.
Yeah, no, he's been great with everything that they've thrown at him. It hasn't been easy, like you said, moving from first to left field in the middle of the season, no less. I mean, that's hard to do, especially for a young player who was already transitioning from catcher. He was just getting used to first base, and now all of a sudden he has to go out to the outfield and learn it. Like I said, he's done a really good job there, and just kind of consistently has been such a steady presence in that lineup. And you look at the lineup as a whole. I know Nick Kurtz kind of has taken the world by storm, and we always talk about him. And Shea Langelier has been on fire lately. Brent Rooker's great, but Tyler Soderstrom is part of that kind of big four that they have right now in the middle of the order, where it's like, these are our guys who we're going to count on every day to produce for us. And more times than not, they're going to drive in runs. They're going to make productive at-bats, on a daily basis to help us win. And, for Soderstrom to be so young and already be kind of at this level, it's pretty impressive. I mean, we all know the talent that he had coming out of high school. He had some early struggles in the big leagues, obviously had to go down to the minors a couple times, but now he's really, he looks like a guy who just is so comfortable. He knows what to do every day to get ready. And he's just a steady presence in that lineup. You can, expect him to finish the season, he's going to have 20 homers, 80 RBIs, whatever, batting. I think he's batting around 260, 270, which is probably even higher than the A's expected this year. So he's just been so steady and calm in that role. And he's emerged into an everyday big leaguer, which is great to see. That's kind of the example that you want all these young guys to kind of follow and eventually morph into one of these guys like a Tyler Soderstrom.
If you talk about the perfect storm that could be happening in the next couple of years, is you want to have players in their prime, and you want to have young players that are heading towards their prime all in the lineup together. And when you just mentioned Rooker and Shea Langeliers, these guys are right in the middle of their prime. And then you start talking about Wilson and Kurtz and Soderstrom and Butler and Clark and hopefully Geloff and Muncy and all. These guys are heading towards their prime. Would you say we're starting to see the perfect storm right now and kind of projection of what the future is going to look like?
Oh yeah, no question. I mean, I see a lot of people talking about like, oh wow, this lineup could be great, in a couple of years. This lineup is great now. Like, this is a top 10 offense in baseball. The numbers speak for themselves, and these guys are only getting better. Like I said, I mean, Rooker, yes, he's 30, so maybe he's at a point where he's maybe like kind of steady now in his career. But all these guys, Shea Langeliers, Soderstrom, Kurtz, Wilson, Butler, these guys are not finished products. They're still going to get better. And as is right now, part of this offense, they've formed one of the better offenses in all of baseball. You look at the numbers, they're top 10 in batting average, OPS, home runs, slugging. I mean, they're a great lineup, and they would probably be in playoff contention right now if it wasn't for that 1-20 stretch. I know we always talk about that, but this team is built on the strength of this lineup, and now it's just about kind of figuring out that pitching side of it. And we're seeing some of these young guys come up now with Morales and Perkins and Ginn, and we'll see the guys next year probably like Gage Jump, maybe even Jamie Arnold. So we're starting to see kind of all the pieces come into place now. And we're starting to see that core of the next, I think, what's going to be the next great A's playoff team coming here soon.
Well, all the love to Kurtz and Shea Langeliers, what they've been doing, especially in the second half. But we really kind of forget about Brent Rooker. He's the first A's player since Chris Davis to have at least 25 home runs in 3 straight years. Now, we give Chris Davis was a great A. Right? What he did in Oakland, 40 home runs, 3 straight years, 1 year leading the league, but still Rooker's the first guy to do that. He's got 135 hits, 6th in the American League, 30 doubles, which is 5th in the American League. His OPS at 850 is 10th in the American League. It's like all of a sudden, we're not talking about Brent Rooker and the stretch he's put together. You've watched it, you've covered it. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, no, and it's been cool to see kind of the development every year. I think that first year, his first full year with the A's, it was more, he'd go through these hot and cold stretches, and obviously he made the All-Star team, but at the time he was on a pretty bad slump going into that All-Star game, and he told us, he was honest. He was like, I don't really feel like I fully deserve to be here, but I made it and I'm happy, but I still feel like I need to get better as a player. And so after that season, he had an even better 24. Obviously, we all think he was snubbed from the All-Star game, but he had a great year. Obviously, finished as a Silver Slugger. You saw a little bit more consistency in the at-bats. This year, it's day to day. Like, there's no there's no hot or cold streaks. He's just Brent Rooker every day, and every day he's just one of the best hitters in baseball. Statistically, he's been that all year. He hasn't had many lulls in his at bats. There was a point where he only had maybe a couple of stretches where he'd gone more than 2 games in a row without a hit. So this guy every day is going up there and just putting together the quality at bats, and he's just such a, not just what he brings in the lineup, but also in the clubhouse. I mean, this guy's the unquestioned leader for this young group. They all look to him for guidance. They all kind of look to him as kind of to set that example. He's not like a boisterous guy in there, but he'll talk to guys, and he'll have a team meeting when he needs to. So, he's definitely earning that contract that he got. And it was so cool to see him this offseason get that extension. I mean, this was a guy who almost was going to go to Japan if things didn't work out with the A's. So to see him from 3 years ago to what he is now, it's quite remarkable to see the path that he's been on. And, he still feels like he could get better. He's only had 3 full seasons in the big leagues. I know he's 30, but I mean, he's still kind of figuring out things up here as well. So it's great to have a guy like that to kind of represent your franchise, both on the field and off the field.
You just said it perfectly. And I think for these young players, when you look at Wilson and Kurtz and these young players, to look how Brent Rooker has handled himself, because there will be a point when Brent Rooker is not here and it's their team. The fact that they could look at how he handled things, like especially in the bad stretch of May, and how he helped the players and did the team meetings and did everything, and he has a lot of respect and he's earned that respect. Don't you think it'll just be huge that someday what Brent Rooker meant to these young players in their careers?
Yeah, no, and he's kind of talked about that. Like he's said multiple times, like, this young group that we have here, these guys, like, talent-wise, are better than me. So it's my job to kind of just help mold them into big leaguers, help be around for them, whatever questions they have, I'm there to answer. And he's here to kind of lay the foundation for this next great team. And he'll be part of, the next team that's good, but these guys have a lot of years ahead of them. So he just wants to, I think, leave them in as good a position as he can whenever that time comes, or maybe he's not part of this org, to be remembered as a guy who helped this next generation, succeed at the next level.
Martin, great stuff as always. Keep doing a phenomenal job, MLB.com, and we'll see you back at the ballpark in West Sacramento.
All right. Sounds good, Tony. See you soon.
Martin Gallegos covers the A's better than anybody. Is this it, Cody? Is this it?
It is, yes.
Man, there's a lot more to talk about.
Well, tomorrow we're going to have Ed Sprague, A's director of player
Tomorrow we'll
development.
have Leo DeVries' first game in Midland to talk about.
So we'll have Ed Sprague for that, and then we're going to have Stephen Nesbitt of The Athletic to talk about geographical relocation in baseball.
We've been talking about this on A's Cast Live for years now, about changing baseball, the geography, and it looks like at some point this is going to happen. All right, that's going to do it for A's Cast Live. Coming up next, we'll have Johnny and Steve Sachs getting you ready for A's baseball. Then I'll be back, and we'll have A's Cast on NBC at 4:30. Thank you, everybody, for listening to A's Cast Live.
When it comes to knocking it out of the park, nobody beats Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is a 7-time Triple Crown Award winner, Ford Motor Company's highest honor, for being the best in customer satisfaction in sales, service, and finance. Step up to the plate for our biggest selection of new Ford models, including the legendary F-150, on sale now. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters in the Folsom Auto Mall. FolsomLakeFord.com.
That ball is out of here.
This has been a presentation of The Athletics.